the black race can't afford you no more. Oh, there used to be a time we'd see somebody like you singing, clowning, yassa bossing, and we wouldn't do anything. Folks like that. You were good. Homie kind of nigga. When they needed somebody to mistreat, call a name or two, they paraded you. Reminded them of the good old days. Not no more.
RBG American Media Watch, your host Selector X. This episode, we're exposing the black mockingbirds and the house Negro politicians who sell the people out.
Metaphysics. The bling bling era was cute, but it's about to be done. I'll leave you full of clips like the moon blocking the sun.
Second Amendment is the key to sovereignty and liberty. Don't let them take it away.
And now these parasites want a percent of my ass cap, trying to control perspective like an acid flashback. But here's a quotable for every single record exec: get your fucking hands out my pocket, nigga, like Malcolm X. But this ain't a movie.
Giving our money away to the globalists so they can fight a war in the Ukraine while the American people starve and suffer.
Immortal techniques stuck in your thoughts, darkening dreams. No one's as good as me, they just got better marketing schemes. I lead you to your own destruction like
securing the Ukraine border while our border is invaded daily. Rebuilding Ukrainian infrastructure with ours. The roads daily.
I'm a heat seeker with features that'll reach through the speaker and murder counter-revolutionaries personally. Break a thermometer and force feed his
House Negro politicians running around talking about Black Lives Matter. Black lives never mattered to a Nazi like Soros. Get off that Nazi's plantation. Represent the American people. Stop representing these globalists. House Negro slaves. You House Negro politicians love some Nazis. You love the Bushes. Now you're giving money to Zelensky, another Nazi.
For my college stands like the Bush administration gave to the Taliban, and fuck packing grams, nigga. Learn to speak and behave. You want to spend 20 years as a government slave? 2 million people in prison, keep the government paid. Stuck in a 6x8 cell, alive in the grave. I was made by revolution to speak to the masses deep in the club. Toast the
now you're protecting the Bidens. The same Biden family came up with the crime bill while his family, the Bushes, the Clintons had the cocaine, had the landing strips to make sure that it was distributed to the inner cities easily. And now here you are supporting the man that was in on the destructive plan for our community.
Chemically unstable, set to explode, foretold by the Dead Sea Scrolls written in code. So if your message ain't shit, fuck the records you sold. Cause if you go platinum, it's got nothing to do with luck. It just means that a million
black
people are stupid as
mockingbirds in the radio, TV industry are worse than the politicians who sell us out. You take direct, act upon the psychology and soul of the people in a holistic fashion that you don't even understand. That's why all you do is promote death and destruction all day. And it's reflected in the actions of that culture who you are targeting.
Industrial revolution.
The day of the Geechee is gone, boy. And you going with it.
Yes, black mockingbird. Black sellout politician, your time is up. You're a disgrace to all those men and women who have fought, killed, and died for this republic, for this country. A disgrace to all of us who are living now, who you are currently selling out us by way of giving money to our enemies, selling us out by praising and supporting actual white supremacists in the form of Clintons, Bush, Biden, Zelensky, Soros, Rockefeller, the Cheneys and their race-specific weapons have a big love affair with Liz Cheney all of a sudden, knowing that her father is one of the architects for the destruction of cradle civilization, Middle East, better known as North Africa, better known as Kush, Kemet, and other forgotten names throughout the millennia of life. To no disgrace to all who come before you. You're in a position of power, but you do not use that power for good. You use it for selfish greed. The worship, that's Satanism. The worship of material, Satanism. You want to face the same wrath, the same hell in which your masters whom you serve will face. And the first rat selling us out, the Mockingbird from MSNBC, Joy Reid. Let's clap her down real quick. RBG America Media Watch, beats, rhymes, politics, what urban radio should be.
Talk about some of the things that Republicans have said that they would actually like to do when they're talking about the agenda of the Republican Party. And this is what the chairs of the committees are saying that they're going to do. Representative Mike Rogers of Alabama says they're going to investigate woke social advocacy at the Department of Defense. That has nothing to do with the border or the budget. You've got Jody Arrington of Texas saying they're going to restructure entitlement programs and slow spending, which is what you just talked about. But that means they would like to, in some cases, slash social programs, social security, things that a lot of Americans depend on and paid into. Michael McCall of Texas, investigate the withdrawal from Afghanistan. I think that seems fair. Calling on Mayorkas to resign. That is what Mark Green of the Homeland Security said is his priority. Calling on him, on Secretary Mayorkas to resign. You've got Jim Jordan, who's leading Judiciary, leading a subcommittee to probe the, quote, weaponization of the federal government. You've also got those who want to investigate President Biden. But this one about weaponization of the federal government, that is about the FBI having a court-sanctioned raid on the former president Donald Trump's home because he had lots and lots of classified documents, hundreds of classified documents that he was not entitled to, and when he was asked to return them, he didn't. And also, it seems possible that it might be about going after the Justice Department for investigating the insurrection that Jim Jordan supported.
Well, a couple of things. First and foremost, let's speak to the Weaponization Committee of the federal government. We see what's happening at Twitter. Twitter now is releasing documentation, ream after ream after ream, that elements of our government was actually in contact with Twitter about delisting comments, taking people off of Twitter overall. If that is not the federal government actually suppressing free speech in the United States, which is the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, Congress has a responsibility to investigate that. Number two, and I'm going to jump around to a couple of the members that you discussed. Mike Rogers on armed services. One of the reasons that we have to get into some woke policies at the Department of Defense is because recruitment is down at the Department of Defense. If our military is not prepared to deal with battles in the future because recruitment is down, shouldn't we go in and investigate all the things that...
Wait, hold on a second. No. What are woke policies at the Department of Defense? Can you name?
Yeah, I can name a whole bunch of them. How about having homosexual sex while you're wearing a dog mask? What kind of shit is that, motherfucker?
Here's what I'm telling you. If there are issues at the Department of Defense that are decreasing recruitment, because the numbers are crystal clear at this point, and we have many members of our military who have complained about some of the programs that are going on at DOD. We have a responsibility to get to the bottom of that. My friend Jody Arrington, who's going to chair budget, he wants to look into the budget and then also look into entitlements. Do you know that Social Security is going to be insolvent in 2035?
It is not going to be. That is not true. That is actually not true. No, it's actually not true. It's actually not true. It's actually not true.
And no matter how many times you say it's not true, it does not change the facts.
But it's actually not true.
The financial community.
That's actually not true. That's actually not true.
We'll go insolvent.
That's actually not true.
Those are the facts.
That's not
Should
true.
we not
That is
prepare
not
for
true.
that?
What the Republican Party and what the Tea Party have proposed is privatizing Social Security, which would actually subject Social Security to the whims of the market, which I don't think that people, that's not what they paid into. No,
if you look at the returns of the S&P 500 since 2006, the returns of the S&P 500 since 2006,
you're saying, so you support privatizing Social Security.
No, I want to explain to you. I am a financial professional. I'm securities licensed. Actually, I just lost my licenses because I'm not allowed to trade anymore because I'm a member of Congress. But let me assure you, if you look at the S&P 500 from 2006 until today, the growth rate in the S&P 500 would have more than taken care of Social Security, way more than the federal government has.
And each time that you had a crash, it would subject people's Social Security funds to crash. Hold on a second. So let me just, hold on a second. We're not going to have a whole long thing on Social Security, but let me just be clear. You are in favor of privatizing Social Security.
No, I'm not in favor of privatizing it.
But you just argued for it.
I said, you just brought it up and I brought you the fact.
This woman is not listening to anything this man has said. She already has her mind made up on whatever nonsensical program she has been given for today, whatever nonsensical command she's been given from her handlers for the day.
But you are, so if a bill came forward to privatize Social Security, you'd be for it?
No, because what we should be doing...
Okay, then it's a moot point. Then it's a moot point.
It's not a moot point. You're trying to put words in my mouth.
But you just explained that the S&P would be a better return than Social Security. So then you're for privatizing.
That is a fact.
Okay, so...
Don't cheapen privatization when the data is crystal clear that the returns would have been better.
Okay, you're for it. You've said that you're for it.
That means that it would have been a better situation than what we've seen to this point.
That was insanity. She did not understand what the man was saying to her. She was not trying to listen to what the man was saying to her. He was giving her the facts upon how money operates. The federal government should not be in control of our money, let alone the Federal Reserve that's not even part of the federal government. He was explaining to her that Wall Street or whatever, the stock market, S&P, would have given the people a way better return than the devaluation of our currency in the hands of the Federal Reserve. She does her listening audience a great disservice, and unfortunately, a lot of young, elder, and peer are infected by the program and propaganda that she puts out, infected by this. Takes over their mind like the Walking Dead zombie virus. That's why we have so many dead folk out here walking, dead from the mental perspective, not the physical. But when it comes to information of substance, dead, a walking corpse. Chief operative in that infection of the dead walking corpse. And from here we'll go into another exposure of a Black Mockingbird chief operative of the globalist elite who we are currently struggling against, Roland Martin. We're going to listen to some of the town hall he had with Hillary Clinton back when she was battling Trump for the presidency. It was hosted by the South Carolina Black Caucus State Legislative Group. Oh man, this is just comical. As destructive as Hillary Clinton has been to the worldwide community, as destructive as she's been to the American community. In this instance, particularly black folk, y'all know how destructive she's been to our community. Hell, even white folk been telling us about the Clintons. Oh man, it's comedy. But it's tragic comedy. Because most of y'all have no idea what's going on with the Clintons, yet y'all parade them around, lift them up as though they're worthy of it. And it's the total opposite. But Roland Martin, however, knows better. So when you know that someone's evil and you help that evil person, what is that saying about you? Why you can't trust these people? All of these black Mockingbird operatives on the news. All these black sellout House Negro politicians. How was this Black Caucus, state Black Caucus, South Carolina, going to hold a town hall meeting with Hillary Clinton? Come on, y'all. That's just contrary to common sense and everything decent. I mean, this woman's daughter wears her cross upside down. It's not nothing new. She was doing that back then. They make their plans obvious. Should have been reading books and knowing about her through documentary study. Let's get into this bill.
Is to talk specific issues. No gotcha stuff. It's all about adhering to specific policies and plans. So we look forward to that. So let's not wait any longer. Let me introduce to you right now, folks, the Democratic presidential candidate, Secretary Hillary Clinton.
So he's not going to ask her any questions of substance. This was an embarrassment for black journalism and journalism in general. All the questions he asked her dealt with state issues. The whole conversation was how to basically federalize state issues. All the issues that he had, he could have brought up to the Black Caucus members who were hosting this event. But we are going to go into one of the most interesting scripted questions that he asked her. Scripted in the sense of the grand chessboard being scripted. He asked her about a black woman for the Supreme Court. And lo and behold, what do we have now? A black woman in the Supreme Court. And during this, Hillary said that she has a list. So I wonder who all were on that list. And if you know anything about the current Justice Brown, you know that her involvement with rulings upon men and others who have been caught with child rape videos and actual raping of children. Very lenient on their sentencing, and we all know the perverted nature of Clinton, the satanic witchcraft nature of Clinton.
Black women, stand up. Black women. Secretary Clinton, if you become president of the United States and you got to appoint somebody to the Supreme Court, will you put a black woman on the Supreme Court?
Do we have some?
Why were they so interested in getting a black woman on the Supreme Court? And has this always been the black woman that the DNC had in mind to put on the Supreme Court?
Candidates here? Yeah. Well, I'll certainly consider
I'll certainly consider people who have the energy and the intellect and the experience to be on the Supreme Court, and probably on the younger side because I want them to be there a long time.
All right. We got a whole list. So it's good to see, it would be good to see a sister on the Supreme Court. I'm just saying.
So it was Martin who said they have a whole list. It wasn't Clinton. Apologize for that. So they have a whole list. I wonder if Brown was on that list that the DNC had. The reason why I say DNC, because Roland Martin is one of those DNC operatives who was giving Hillary Clinton a heads up on questions that would be asked during various debates. CNN was an outlet at the time which a lot of these debates were being held on. And once he was done with his softball questions, they wound up the minstrel show with a wobble dance, him and Clinton. Some of the most ignorant and nonsensical, silly stuff you would ever see. It's available on all video outlets. Just put in Roland Martin, Hillary Clinton wobble if you care to view it. But it's just a continuation of the Mockingbird minstrel show. Yes, you can tune in to Beach Rhymes Politics, RBG, American Media Watch. And we're about to expose two of the biggest liars in Congress, Ilhan Omar and Cori Bush. I don't know what is wrong with these two sisters, but they are besides being some sellouts and coons for the Baphomet, other than that, I don't know what's wrong with them, but that's the main problem that's wrong with them. These sisters right here are the biggest liars, most dishonest people in Congress, and always race baiting and playing I guess the best word to describe it would be the victimization card. Always coming up with those racial angles, the pride, and poke the people with propaganda. Yet, they always scream and cry out, white supremacy this, white supremacy that, yet they are doing the work of the most arch nemesis of the black community. Biden, Bush, Clinton, Obama. Look at all of the wealth that was stolen and robbed from the black community under the Obama administration. All the black wealth that was denied to the black community under the Obama administration. All the black destruction worldwide. All those drone strikes. Those were the lands, the places, the people of color. Let's get into this bill, listen to this lies and propaganda from these two women.
To the gentlewoman from Missouri, Representative Bush. The gentlewoman is recognized for 1 minute.
St. Louis and I rise in support of Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. I've been to her district. I've spoken with her constituents. We visited marginalized communities globally together. This institution is better because of her leadership, and the Foreign Affairs Committee benefits from her perspective. So let's talk about what's really happening. Republicans are waging a blatantly Islamophobic and racist attack on Congresswoman Omar. And I've said it before, I will say it again. The white supremacy happening is unbelievable. This is despicable. It is Congresswoman Omar who has been harassed at her job for simply existing as a Muslim woman in Congress. It is she who has been attacked by a member of this body, ridiculing her as a potential terrorist for simply existing.
as a Muslim woman in this Congress. So rather than bring an actual accountability, any accountability to Congress, they bring this offensive resolution to the floor. This is just a bunch of racist gaslighting. We all know it. Vote no.
It is no accident that former President Donald Trump led a birther movement that falsely claimed he was born in Kenya. Because to them, falsely labeling the first and only President of the United States of America a Muslim and African immigrant somehow made him less American. Well, I am Muslim. I am an immigrant, and interestingly, from Africa. The 9-year-old me would be disappointed if I didn't talk about the victims of conflict, those that are experiencing unjust wars, atrocities, ethnic cleansing, occupation, or displacement like I did. They are looking to the international community and the United States, asking for help. They look to us because the international community and the United States profess the values of protecting human rights and upholding international law. So we owe it to them not to make this a myth, but a reality. I didn't come to Congress to be silent. I came to Congress to be their voice. And my leadership and voice will not be diminished if I am not on this committee for one term. My voice will get louder and stronger, and my leadership will be celebrated around the world as it has been.
See what I tell you, these two, man, oh man. Beats, rhymes, politics, RBG America, Media Watch, host Selector X. It's heard from Corey, Bush, Ilhan, Omar. Want to let this track groove on out, then come back and build on the other side about what these two just said. Man, oh man. Well, Ilhan and Corey will be outside of Zion's gates when they close. Those two women, boy, they know how to spread the propaganda. Just spread it around. That was Ilhan Omar being booed at a concert in her district. Yeah, the Somali community, nor any other person of color community is a fan of Ilhan Omar in her district in Minnesota. She's pulling that still like the DNC's lately been doing. There's no way that this woman has won any election for the last cycles that she's been up for election. I have plenty of contacts in the Somali community from the work that I do. And believe me when I tell you, none of them like that woman. None of them do. That's one thing the Somali community can agree on in the court is that they do not like Ilhan. You heard it right there within the boos. I don't see how Corey Bush didn't hear them boos when they were out there in the community, walking around meeting the people. Woman, you lying. You ain't been nowhere with Ilhan. Y'all been at a stage video and photo opportunity. It wasn't anything authentic. They'd have booed your ass too. Then they brought up the birther. Really? Come on, Ilhan. You know that was your girl, Hillary. That was all Hillary. But it's okay when Hillary does it. But it's not when Trump does it. It's not when Trump wants to investigate to find out if it's true. That's what he was doing. They're making these claims. Let's investigate, find out if it's true. Who is making the claims? The Clinton campaign is making the claims. They always forget that part. Fail to mention that part. I wonder why. Beach Rhymes Politics, RBG American Media Watch, what urban radio should be. This edition shining light upon all the black mockingbirds, black politicians who have been selling the American people out. These are just a few. There's many more out there. We will expose them all as we continue to journey throughout this timeline, battle evil with the good that we shine, with the good that we speak, with the good that we do.
I know one God, no God, become cool liar.
Yes, Corey and Ilhan are very dangerous. Keep an eye out on them. Alert all family and friends to keep an eye on them. You just look at the symbolism on Corey's shirt and that lets you know what she's all about. Driven by the all-seeing eye, driven by those pentagrams. Ilhan. Got that sunshine, hit a man with it, broke up his family. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Sunshine, one of the most iconic characters in comedy. A sister from Harlem Nights. So good, throw it up in the air, turned into sunshine. Broke up a family. Ilhan, say it ain't so. Yeah, it's just a wicked woman. And it's always the cute ones too. Always the most wicked up here. This using the whole immigration, refugee status, allowing for it to be abused. If you come from a genuine conflict zone like you claim, you would know that most of these people who come across are not from genuine conflict zones. They're just cowardly men who refuse to stand up and fight for their community in the most sense. All these people coming across this border, majority men, young, healthy, able-bodied men, cowards coming to the land of the lions. You don't get chopped up and spit out, boy. Get up out of here. Go back home and fight for your land. There ain't no legitimate migrants. And all in the defense of the Republic, everything that we do, everything that we say. Peace. Until next time.
The black race can't afford you no more. Oh, there used to be a time we'd see somebody like you singing, clowning, bossing, and we wouldn't do anything. Folks like that. You were good. Homie kind of nigga. When they needed somebody to mistreat, call a name or two, they paraded you. Reminded them of the good old days. Not no more. The day of the Geechee is gone, boy. And you going with it.